Welcome to Psalm 91. This is a very famous psalm because it's beautiful. It's popular for a reason. And we're not going to look at every verse. We're just going to focus in on the first couple. Notice the way God is described and what he does here. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. 4 titles, 4 names for God. My God and the Lord, Yahweh, much probably more familiar to us than Most High and Almighty. Most High is Elyon, the supreme ultimate being. Speaks of his authority, his position. And then the Almighty, this one here. This is Shaddai. Maybe a term you've heard, maybe you sang the term in a song from a generation back, but Shaddai, what does it mean? There's been some discussion, some debate over the years, but essentially it seems to be connected, at least in what I was reading, it seems to be connected to an Akkadian term, another language with some sort of interactions and connections with Hebrew, and it's a term for mountain. Now that fits here perfectly. Abiding in the shadow of Shaddai, abiding in the shadow of this being who is like a mountain for us. Imagine being in the Middle East in the boiling, scorching sun blazing down, and it is really a nasty experience if you're traveling or if you're trying to, get somewhere and you're really stuck. If you can find somewhere where you can find shade, especially something like a mountain, just an incredible structure within creation that you can kind of pull in close. You can go into a cutout area, a cave, whatever it is, and you can have the strength and the solid reality of this mountain separating you from the elements, whether it's a storm or whether it's the blazing sun. To be in the shadow of the Almighty is a wonderful place to be. And that goes well, of course, with being in the shelter of the Most High, a similar kind of concept there. And so we've got this shelter and shadow, we've got refuge and fortress, all language that communicates the idea of being secure, of being somewhere safe, being protected from dangers that are out there. Well, notice that kind of sets the tone for the psalm, but I want you to notice who it is that gets that. It's he who dwells. It's at the end, the person says, in whom I trust. There's this sense in which the person receiving, the recipient of this security, safety, and sheltering from God is the person who chooses to trust God for it. Notice this psalm does not say that if you belong to God, your life will be easy. Far from it. There are dangers in this world. In this world you will have trouble, Jesus said, but trust in God, trust also in me. Same context. It's almost like Psalm 91 is sort of in the background of that upper room discourse. We're invited, or the disciples were invited, to trust God and to find their safety and security in him in a world that was incredibly antagonistic to them. I don't know if Psalm 91 is playing a role in John 14, 15, 16, but Psalm 91 should play a role in our lives. And as you go through, you'll see a lot of imagery, a lot of description of incredible danger, but wonderful deliverance. And that's beautiful. It's something to ponder and to think about. But I want you to notice that what we've seen here in the first couple of verses, this invitation is going to come up throughout. Drop down to verse 9. Because you have made the Lord God your dwelling place. Notice the same language here as we had at the start. Most High, my refuge, and so on. Because you have made him your refuge and your dwelling place. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. And then down in verse 14, again, because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. That's that key term right at the start there, because. And so what's established in the first 2 verses continues throughout. essentially an invitation to trust in the God who can provide absolute security and safety for us, no matter how grave the danger, no matter how serious the threats may be. Now, Psalm 91 is just brimming with beautiful language, powerful descriptions of danger and deliverance. I invite you to read it and enjoy it, and be sure to share what you find with others. Psalm 91 has to be one of the most shareable psalms. And right at the core, it's an invitation to draw near to a God who wants to keep you safe.